Domsey, can you hear us?
Yep. Nice and loud.
That's what I've seen it on here. For our last briefing.
I'll share with you.
Did Ruth take it down? Okay. It says insignia. Recess and come to see you. Recess and come to see you.
Mic's on.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Thames Community Board meeting. This is our first one for 2025, and we're slowly going into the back end of our triennium. And I can see that by some of the emails coming through. So with a lot of political machinations going through on the emails at the moment. So, and I personally have kept right out of it. So you won't see my response to your emails. So welcome to everybody. Welcome to Ruth, who's our annual person coming through. T-Rap, great. And then it's just got to find out who the gentleman is there. And to Kate O'Malley for taking our information down, and to our staff here today, thank you very much. I want to call Dean. Sorry, Dean, didn't sitting down now. I thought you're an extra board member. I didn't realise. So today, the Karakia is going to be done by Councillor Rodley. So, and Mitch King just walking behind. So Councillor Rodley is going to do the Karakia. Those who wish to stand, please stand. Those who wish to remain seated, remain seated. Thank you. Thank you, Martin.
Ana tohu o te rangi o te whenua. Hei aratake I e mātou, I nā take e whiriwhiri, ai e tēnei whā. I rau, anō I te aroaro a ranganui ke ranga, e papatuanuku e tā koutou nei. Whakamō ki e tēnei. Homi e, hui e, tā ki e.
Thank you, everybody. I declare the meeting open. So this is going to be quite a quick meeting today because my agenda's sitting at home. So we'll see what sort of chair I can be. No. I've got our governance officer sitting right alongside, and everywhere knows she runs the meeting anyway. There we are. Tick. That one's done. Thank you. There's no apologies. There's no apologies. Everybody's in attendance. That's great. And public forum. So we just got one. Just Roanne. Okay. TRAP. Would you care to come forward? TRAP's got a video for us to look at, so it'll be on your screens in front of you. And they're not so much as public forum, they're actually a deputation, so they have a little bit longer to speak than normal. Okay. Thank you, Ryan.
Morena koutou, thank you for having us. Just a short, I suppose, overview from us. We're short on staff today. We've got a couple away sick. But first of all, before we start, we'd just like to welcome everyone to the 2025. In terms of our mahi for TRAP, we've got some big plans happening for this year. But firstly, we just want to thank you for all your awhi in terms of our rōpū for TRAP for last year. It was really noticeable how our rangatahi were supported, not just by you guys, but also the entire community, which was fantastic. For us, TRAP was our trial last year. 2024 was our trial just to see how things would progress. And I've always said small steps, and this year we're ready to kind of take it that step further. So our group last week caught up for dinner. With a few of those that could make it. It's a bit hard in the holidays. But that was to close off our 2024 rōpūs. So just so you're all aware, applications for the 2025 TRAP go live on the 26th of February at 3:30 p.m. So those that were part of the group last year have to reapply. They also come up with that decision. It wasn't a given that you would make it to the 2025 TRAP. For us as Kaimahi, obviously we'd like to grow some of those that were part of that group last year. So if they apply, we'd obviously like to grow them and keep them on as long as we can, but people have got commitments and some are moving away and different things like that. So we've just got a short video and then we can give you a little bit of insight as to what's going to happen for us this year. Hopefully I'll do this right, Jen. There's no sound, by the way. Here we go. So that was just a little bit of an overview as to what the panel got up to last year. It was solely focused on events. This year, we are increasing our numbers to 20. So we are going from 13 to 20. We would like to target the older age group, kind of 17 and upwards as well. We're going to have 3 core groups as part of TRAP. So everyone will be involved in events. We've still got a lot of data that we collated last year in terms of what they're wanting within our community. But the 3 core groups are going to be looking after our health and wellbeing, our tile, so our environment, and we're also going to have one careers focused. So so does kind of mean when we're going to branch out a little bit more this year, and we need to find out from them as well what's important in terms of when they apply to be part of TRAP. But those are our core groups that we're going to focus on for 2025. How that looks, we still need TRAP to mould that. So we're really big on youth voice and youth participation, but we will be not just focusing on events. We still will have events, but they will be our focus groups for this year. So yeah. Any questions?
Any questions of Roanne, TRAP? Yes, Martin, Councillor Rodley.
But potentially you are still going to do an event or
Yes.
as part of.
As part of it, absolutely. So our aim is still to have an event once a month.
Yep.
That the entire panel will be in charge of. Because I can only imagine if we had to choose which group you'd want to go on, everyone's going to choose events. So they'll all be in charge of events, but then they also have to be part of one of those 3 core groups.
And there'd be one person wandering around looking after the environment.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a bit judgy.
Councillor Sinclair? Well, I just saw your going. He said that you could go first.
The gentleman. This is very exciting. Thank you very much for coming to present to us. And I hope, I'll phrase this as a question. I hope we can see you lots during the year. Question?
In terms of in this hui?
Well, yeah, but we're also happy to come into time and place that suits you. I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Very. I've enjoyed the invites to come to your events. You've done some spectacular events that have been thoroughly enjoyed by myself and my child. And you do a wonderful job. And I think any way that we can support you is a way that we can support you. I'm very happy to bring my hammer back down to the centre if you need it.
It was a mission, but
so much fun. Will we be seeing you this year? Question?
absolutely. Obviously, just even looking back at that photo when we first bought them here, they were so green. Like looking, I just said to Absalom, look how much they've grown from the first time they were here to the last event at the Christmas and actually the Colour Fiesta. So it's all about building their skills and them feeling comfortable. Obviously, the more we can bring them into an environment which isn't so youth friendly, they can start gaining that confidence. So our mission would be to, once we have selected our panel, would be to get them to TBA Hui as well. So, but yeah, we just need to, we don't know how many people are going to apply yet. We don't know what it's going to look like. From the word on the street, it looks like we've got a few people that are very, very interested. We've got some that are very disappointed because they don't reach that age yet, but you know, things take time as well. So, and bearing in mind we're still only a year in, so.
Councillor Revel?
Thanks, Chair. It's absolutely fantastic, and you know, just looking at that, what you have achieved through the year, and I think you've done a very good job in keeping us kind of aware of what's going on. Obviously, I would expect that there would have been some disappointments during the year, not just everything being really positive. And so are there any disappointments you'd like to tell us about? And secondly, if you were to identify the top 2 or 3 learnings that came from your first year, what would they be?
So there have been any disappointments? That's hard. That's a hard question. Maybe not enough time to do as much as we'd like to do. That's a little bit of a challenge because we still also have our other programs that we run aside from TRAP. So trying to make sure we're juggling both. Oh, goodness me.
I think maybe a learning going forward is that if a part of TRAP there are a few more older people in the group, probably alleviate stress for us, being able to share the load a bit.
Yeah. That would probably just be the one thing is for us, so our learnings for this year is how do we market? We can't just go to the schools if we're trying to target 18 to 24-year-olds. So we're going to have to target workplaces and how do we market that? So that's probably a big learning for us. We can't just get comfortable going into the schools. That's easy. We do that all day, every day. It's now targeting the older ones. And then there's also that commitment because if they're working, can they commit to our hui and whenever we do events? So it's finding that balance as well. What the other thing be? I must say, as a rōpū, having kind of your younger ones with the older ones, it was amazing to see them work together. So you've got the mind of a 12-year-old and the mind of a 23-year-old are very, very different. And just having the patience for the younger ones, but then also the older ones learning from these younger ones. And that's the whole reason why we've done it as well. So yeah, we're excited for this year. And that's why we just had to close off our 2024 branch so we can now move forward for our planning for this year. So yeah, it's all we've got at the moment.
Board Member Rakwa.
Through the chair, thank you, TRAP. You're doing an amazing job. For me, stand out one of the really good stuff. Focus on career. So I think that's a brilliant idea to support those young kids to find the way to settle in their life. So well done. Thank you.
Yep. So the careers idea came about because we thought as a young person, unless you're exposed to something you don't know. So we're hoping by having the careers branch, it'll hopefully set up opportunities for kids that are still in school or might have left school to know about the opportunities out there. So for example, yeah, we could have local business owners come in and talk about how their journey started. We could have a zookeeper come in, unique job stuff that kids might not know about or might not have ever thought about being an option for them. We want to make sure that they're at least got an idea of something that they can have after school. And then it could be an opportunity for business owners to come in and maybe see, some kids that have left school but still don't know what to do, maybe take on new hires and stuff like that. So it's just knowledge for the youth in the area of what's out there.
It's also we'll also be for those that are wanting to go to uni, it could be those different pathway options as well. So hence the reason why we want to get some older rangatahi on board so that they've got those options on which pathway. So our thinking is once a month we will get, we'd obviously like to go with our local businesses first and get someone in to talk for an hour or so in their whatever field they're in. Before we branch out to other jobs that they could be interested in. They, for example, if they're wanting to get into the mines, how do they get their tickets and certain things like that. So, but that's also, we need to get them together and get that core group and what do they want from it as well. So they might have some fantastic other ideas, but that's our thinking anyway. With health and wellbeing, we're going to focus on obviously your mental health and services that are accessible to young people. They may not know anything. How do we make that youth friendly? How do we make that youth accessible? And then also physical health and different things like that. And then our taiao, our environment, we'd love to be working with our Cody dieback. There are some few suggestions that come through from last year. So we've got a few different areas that we're looking at there as well. So.
Thank you. Deputy Chair. Oh. Too many copies. Anybody else want to ask a question? I see most of the questions have got a bit of a preamble in front of them. So thank you very much, Roanne and Epsom. One of the, I had a quiet smile on my face when you're listing all the things that you must do, like must have giveaways, must have things, and they must have music. And I thought, oh, it's a shame we didn't have music on the. So, but picking up on your point about importance of rangatahi having been able to have a talk or a kōrero to various groups and organisations, that is critical, and that is the part that really struck me when you first came here. That is so important, and I'd like just to reiterate, because we could be all out the door in September, but I'd like to reiterate that maybe incoming board 2025, 26, certainly we'll try and ensure that they'll continue the relationship we have with you. And I'd like to see maybe every second or third board meeting, that you come with a specific question so that they've got something to talk about. But I was really impressed to see Epsom today speaking very well, and I'm sure you probably wouldn't have felt that comfortable the first time you came here, but you've done exceedingly well, and I take my hat off to you. If you're talking about careers, I'd be interested to see if anybody wants to be a whakateke te Papaku and come down and try out being a funeral director for a while. Maybe not, maybe is. But there is a missing link in society that they're not there helping their whānaus. So, even if they just come in and just have a look through. But well done, absolutely well done. And it's been a pride of this time I've been here to see you people here. It's really given me a lift to see the TRAP here. So Te Rangatahi Advisory Panel, well done to you all, and well done to Roanne and Tina, because you've been the driving forces, and I've been at a couple of functions you've been at, and you make really good aunties at those functions and keep them under control. It just blow me away. It's just incredible, and I'd love to see more people coming through. It's going to change our younger generation entirely in this town. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thanks, guys. And once again, thanks for your support.
Okay, ka kite anō.
Am I imagining things, or is it getting warm in here?
Oh, I thought that was just my expression to you, all warmth and things like that. Unaware. Is nobody else speaking? Right. So, can I have a mover and a seconder for the Thames Community Board received a deputation TRAP in the public forum, please? So I have a mover. Okay, Kashan's moved. Deputy Chair Rob, seconder, all in favour, please say aye. Those against, declared carried. I see we've got, no, we haven't. People walk out on us. Okay. There's no late urgent items. That's 1.4. So there's none of those that I would think. Has anybody got a conflict of interest coming up? 1.5. Right. There being none, we'll move to 1.6 on the agenda. So did anybody read through the minutes and find anything that needed correcting before we put the motion to accept them, please? That's excellent. Thanks very much to our governance team and taking down the minutes correctly. So the Thames Community Board confirms it's 27th of November 2025, 2024. 24 minutes as a true and correct record of proceedings. Do we have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Rebel. Do we have a seconder, please? Board Member McKenzie. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, declared carried. Oh, fine. What date you got on here? Oh, you got date 24. That is the trouble when you read things verbatim off the run sheet. Thank you. Right. The CAPEX report. Oh, welcome, Luke. I didn't see you sitting there. Welcome. And I just got to have a quick talk to our area manager because she was showing me something. Luke, if you just bear with us for a minute, please. That's between myself. Thank you, Councillor Rebel. I mean, it's bad enough having Jen on one side and you over there. No, it's not that bad. No, I take that all back. It's just you over there. No, I rely entirely on my team here. They're wonderful. Right. So, you know, the way we do it is so probably different to other boards. So we just scoot down the left-hand side and they'll ask you questions if they see something relevant down there. So I just want to have our area manager just explain one very quick thing, the difference between $150,000 and $254,992. Oh, Luke can do it? Oh, Luke
Yeah.
can. All right, you do it.
Okay, so we've received a grant from WRC, and that is the for the remainder of the works to finish the project itself. That's reflected in the 254. So our annual plan had an original 150 carried across, but we subsequently received the funding required through WRC.
Grade? Oh, sorry, Martin. Councillor Rodley.
And that's presumably carrying on because it's not appropriate time to plant wetland plants in 29-degree heat.
Correct. So the plants are part of it. It's also the PO and the positioning of the PO. We're working with the iwi to ensure that we're doing that in the right way, as well as the landowners. So some of the PO will be on road reserve. We've also had WRC involved. There's a stock bank there. Yeah, they've got some interest in that area as well.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
Okay. Coach Valley Road, please. So the real question, Touch Valley Road, is when?
So I think the good news is we've got clarity of what that we are delivering as a project. So that occurred obviously late December. We're now standing up the planning phase and getting into the design. We need to procure services to do that. So you need the expertise. Now that we can procure and go, well, this is what we want you to design and deliver for us. So we, as a project team, are just working on pulling that all together to be able to go to market for those services.
So just a supplementary on that one, with Mr. Canal, Lorenzo Canal, informed us at the council, I think, that they reduced the cost of the initial road cost going up to Sawmill Road by approximately $3 million. So the thing is, what are they actually now going out and redesigning the road, or are they just going to use the same base and just restrict the road down from 3.5 metres to 3 metres either side and take the parking things off either side, and put a footpath in, or is it a complete redesign, please?
So there has been concept to almost develop stage designs already done through that work to enable the decision to be made of this agreed scope. It has, yes, you're right, narrowed the road width, and that's where you're getting your savings, because the narrower road also means there's less runoff to manage, and that then rolls into the stormwater devices at the end of the road there as well. So you've got some lesser requirements in that regards. So it's again reducing cost. You still need to do detailed design to then be able to go to market for construction. So that's the next phase. And that's the bit of the work that we are pulling together now. Does that answer the question, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, it basically, or yes and no. So the construction period now will not be till spring. Is that what you're saying?
So we've got to go to market, we've got to engage them and agree on a work schedule with the successful tenderer. So I can't give you it'll be done by this date, because it really depends on the interest from the market. There's a lot of still unknowns, but what we've got is a firm direction forward on what we're delivering. Once we've gotten through the planning and tender, we'll have much more clarity around the work schedule and delivery timing for you.
So the money that's indicated here, that's in the LTP, will that carry over at the end of June?
Correct. So we will try to spend as much of that as we can this year, but there will be a carryover to next year, so that we can ensure we've got the budget required to deliver the final construction work.
Okay. Anybody else, any questions about Totara Valley Road, which has been ongoing for almost 40 years? Okay, thank you. We discussed the water, clarified last time. Thornton's Bay slip, anybody? Cope with public convenience. I think we're under the impression that that was going to be installed reasonably soon. End of March 2025. Point Park, Queen Street improvements. Thames Sub-Regional Aquatic Facility. Thames Critical Structure Renewals.
Can I just ask a question on the sub-regional aquatic facility? In the supplementary summary report, just under the area of issues, talks about the 2027 deadline not being met. What can you tell us about the discussions that have taken place with Ngāti Maru around that? So what we've looked at is the timeline to actually deliver once we've got a decision. And we're indicating here that it's dependent on what the decision is, because it could be really simple and yes, we can make the timeline, because you can go from one perspective of build nothing, just demolish and disestablish the existing, to build something at a specified location. And so we've not got certainty on the way forward. And so what we would do is we would engage at the point when we know what we're delivering and we know what the timeline for delivering that thing is. So the key point is next meeting, we are fronting up with the report, with the supplementary data from our experts, to get a steer from this group on the preferred direction. Would then, Rose will correct me if I'm wrong, it'll then go up to council as the next step. So what we're indicating here is that there's a potential risk of us not hitting the timeline that's been agreed for removal of the existing pool.
If in fact that is what eventuates, that we are not going to be in a position to meet the 2027 deadline, are you suggesting to me this will be a surprise to Ngāti Maru?
Shouldn't be.
Why not? Why will it not be a surprise?
Because we haven't been radio silent on what we're doing. We're keeping them updated on progress.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
In addition to that, we do have a representative from Ngāti Maru on the steering group who comes to the steering group meetings.
And we missed the 2015 deadline as well. Right. Oh, sorry, Councillor Rodley.
Yeah, so seeing though we're actually talking about that supplementary, the project summary report, I wanted to check because partway through there, it says communications and it's showing green, saying the TCD-WSC website has been closely monitored, ensure up-to-date information is always available. Was last updated on the 10th of October 2024. Considering we're now in almost the 10th of February, which is almost 5 months since then, is there any more relevant information that could be put on there? Because in the absence of information, the vacuum, we tend to get some rather interesting comments out in the community and on various social media platforms.
With permission from the chair, I'd like to answer that. Kate O'Malley, Communications Officer, part of the project working group. We've been monitoring what's on the website and what is in the public domain, understandably, not because any of it's secret, but because some of it's about discussions that are not useful are still being debated, and some of it's about possible commercial ways forward. And at the moment, the website is in a holding position until there is something made public about it. We're not, and it's current, there's not out of date. We've taken out of date material out. So yes, so we will update once the business case, which Luke referred to as the report, is publicly tabled in March, the next board meeting. We'll be ready. We'll prepare the website to be updated even before that. I'm having a meeting with the project team, key people, Kathy Trentham, the project manager, and Rose Ward, to look at a concrete communication plan for the whole year, because it's not going to be just as simple as communicating a decision. And if there is a decision, there's also a lot of things to do with community engagement that's being thought of, etc. And so I want to be looking at the year ahead. And I'm sorry, Luke, if I jumped in before
that's all right.
anything.
So in summary, there has been a lot of work and effort and thought put into the communication side of things. The key is next month's meeting and getting some direction, and then we will communicate that out to the community.
Cool, thank you.
Okay. Parks and open spaces. Did you read that, Board Member Mackenzie, about the cricket pitch? Did you read about the cricket pitch? Parks and open spaces. Grade 16. The wicket competed using different products. You're the one that uses it. Yep. So have you been able to use it throughout the season? Good. Okay. Board Member Rockwell.
Thanks, Chair. Sorry, we skipped the Thames Info Center fit out. Is it okay to ask what's item we spend that money? We have any list to look at all members to look at what we get for 50 grand?
So it was the internal fit out costs. So the best way to understand what we spent it on is go have a visit and look at the internal fit out of the information centre, and you'll see exactly what it was spent on. Everything inside there, that is the sort of, shelving and internal furniture type sides of things. Signage was part of the scope of the project. Rose was very closely linked to this, so could probably talk a little bit more detail in how she worked with the involved parties.
No, we decided to operational. Councillor Revel.
Also, just the 6 bins that were ordered and installed, is that in Porra Park? But those bins are, I wasn't aware of the question. Where have the 6 bins been installed, please? Sorry? Yeah, I thought we still were. So what I can do is find out where the location of the 6 bins are for you. I'll go past
where the 6 bins have been installed. No, okay.
It will be within the ward area, but I don't know the exact locations. Yeah. Okay.
as long as it's been done responsibly.
Do you need one up the Karonga Valley, Councillor Rebel? Right. Is it safe to turn the page now? Okay, handrail installation, that's been done. Complete, excellent. In fact, I saw some really positive comments about that on Facebook. Well done. Thames Cemeteries, I'll declare an interest in that, so we'll skip that. Anybody got any questions about Thames Cemeteries renewals? No? Oh, sorry, Councillor Rodley.
That presumably was different from the work at the cemetery to stabilise it from falling down into the state highway. That's a different section of work, isn't it?
Correct. That's a separate project
Right.
that's sitting with my team to deliver. And that work is underway and they're currently engaging the relevant expertise, so consultants, to undertake that investigation work. The output will be a report, which will come back to you as part of here's the issue, here's the work we've done to investigate it, here's a recommended set of options, and this is the one we would point you towards.
Okay, any further questions? Being none. Thames War Memorial Civic Centre renew, Waima boat ramp, that's been just advertised in the paper, hasn't it, for being closure while you repair it? Did I not see? Waima?
I understand that is the case.
Yeah, there you are. Works to commence on the 17th of February. Oh, Deputy Chair.
I just wonder, in the comms, which I haven't seen, was there any advice about where people could launch during that time that the work's undertaken?
Good question. I don't have the answer.
A really good opportunity potentially to kick them off to Kopu.
Yeah.
You know the answer.
Yeah.
Hello, Kate O'Malley, comms officer again. I didn't do the comms myself. One of my team did from something we received from Luke, and I'm pretty sure on our social media it had the alternatives, but I will go back and check.
All I'm asking is whether it would be a good idea to give them an alternative at Kopu and with no charge.
So we can feed that back to the parks team.
Just an idea.
Who are running the project. Yep.
Actually, funny enough, Deputy Chair, when I saw the notice in the paper, I thought to myself, it would have been a golden opportunity to say that instead of travelling to Waima, you could launch at Kopu. Would have been an excellent opportunity. We missed it. Right. So Thames War Memorial. Okay. Oop. All right. Thames Library Collection Development. Oof. Thames Library Furniture and Fittings. All happy. Thames Footpath Rehabilitation. I didn't know it was sick. So anybody got any questions about the footpaths in Thames? Thames Streetlight Renewals. Collins Street Lighting Upgrade. So for those who are interested, see that they're making provisions for flag tracks to be put on the poles and minor alterations to poles so the flag tracks are not causing any problems and vibration in the poles, which is all good. We're putting flags up. Thank you for that, taking that into account. Okay. So, we go on to what's the one that Martin Rodney jumped into? Good girl. Thank you. Yeah. This one. Oh, right. You've got another. I like it. Other information and updates. Thames Sports Partnership Project. So that's really just information on that, isn't it? Same as the Thames Surrounds and Spatial Plan. Installation of 2 sculptures, or it's 1 now because 1's there. Does the Deputy Chair want to give us an update on Miners Gate, please? Just cut across Mr. Newbold.
Yeah, from the Public Art Trust, they informed me that the fence has been realigned and it's ready to go. They've received 2 competitive quotes and are in the process of just finalising exactly which quote they'll run with, and then the work will be done, and we're aiming as soon as possible and hoping that it'll be end of Feb, something like that. That's where it sits at the moment.
That's excellent. This one goes on to here. That one. Okay, we'll stop there. Okay.
Can I just add the interwoven? I get a lot of very positive comments about interwoven, and
Please.
people. Well,
yeah,
I know. For instance, my grandkids. That's the second thing they look for when they're coming to visit. The first thing is the pink elephant. The second thing is interwoven, and then that's the hurricane. So these things are for them. But I was down in Paeroa the other day, and people commenting about how great it is to see a sculpture like interwoven as you come into Thames, and thinks it's it's a good announcement. So really positive stuff from TPAT.
Thank you, Councillor Rebel. Councillor Rodley.
Is it? So just talking about sculptures, and I'm sure all the elected members have been getting the emails from the Karakia Aero Club folk about the Sir Keith Park statue. Is presumably council sort of all over that as far as, is it appropriate to ask about that? Council's all over that as far as consents and planning and that sort of thing? Do you happen to know?
Through the chair, the location where the new statue is to be installed is within the lease footprint of the Karakia Aero Club. So the arrangement is between the Sir Keith Park Memorial Airfield Incorporated and the Karakia Aero Club Incorporated. And I checked with Larissa, and she is aware that the group is planning to install a statue. And so I would have thought the next step would be landowner approval to do that, just to ensure that it achieves all the requirements, as did Miners Gates. We went through the process of Miners Gates and interwoven and the J. Hoboken Hook sculpture. So anything that's being installed on council land requires landowner approval. However, this site is leased, so there needs to be some kind of process around that.
Okay, thank you, I think.
That's a very interesting question, because I don't think that they're thinking of going public about installing the statue that I saw.
Sent out to a
I didn't read.
wide group of people.
Anyway, so it'll be in Auckland on Saturday, is it? Yeah, this coming Saturday, I think. Have a look at it. All right. So that's, and the last thing over the page on page 20 is the project summary report, Thames Sub-Regional Aquatic Facility that Councillor Rodley already jumped into a minute ago. Has anybody else got any comments just quickly on that attachment B? If not, we'll put the motion. No? Good. Does somebody care to move the Thames Community Board receive the Thames Community Board CAPEX right. Board Member Rakwa.
Seconding.
Oh, sorry. No, I got it now. I got it now. Normally, when it comes across like that, it says you've missed these people that put their hands up to speak. So, okay, the 10, because I hadn't got the end of the motion, you see. No, you said wait till the thing's done. Right. That the Thames Community Board received the Community Board's CAPEX projects for 24, 25 and other information updates report dated 16th of January 2025. Moved by Councillor Revel, seconded by Board Member Rakwa. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I declare it carried. Oh. Thank you very much, Luke. Right. Do we want to do this? Which time? You'll have a break and then. No, oh no, we're not having a break. Oh, sure. Okay, all right. 2.3. Oh, is it? Da-da-da. So we'll start again. 2.2. Thames Urban General Purpose Reserve Annual Report for 23-24. Oh, so, yeah.
This is item 2.2, the Thames Urban General Purpose Reserve. The purpose of this report is to provide an update on activity during the 2023-24 year, so 30th of June 2024. You'll see it summarises the activity during the year, and this included income from the farms. Expenditure included our 2 projects that are still in progress, being the Thames Sports Partnership Project and the Aquatic Project, and also the Kopu project, which was completed last year. Are there any questions?
Oh. So you heard the presenter ask if there's any questions, Councillor Rebel?
I think I'm confused and hopefully might be able to, but I was surprised to read that there is no revaluations taking place until 2027 at the earliest on the farms and what the income is likely to be. I had thought we were kind of getting into a mode of having some regular revaluations of properties. So am I confused? You might want to think carefully before you answer that.
You'll recall that our property advisor attended a meeting before Christmas, and she explained that there were 2 up for renewal, 2 leases. So the property team paid for the valuations for the 2 leases that were up for renewal at the end of last year. And then the next lease renewal isn't due until 2027.
So, Councillor Rebel, okay. Because you're thinking about that, I know. Councillor Rodley?
Would Councillor Revel consider it appropriate if that information was put in this report? Because it's kind of it's a look back on the last report for 23-24, and those renewals, those valuation, and I think the increase, because we increased the lease, the rental, surely that should be put in there because that's a major.
That's correct. Through the chair, that information will be included in the annual report for the year ending 30th of June 2025.
So that probably we discussed. Their renewal is the 1st of January.
But could it still say that that process was undertaken?
Could.
Just a thought.
So just to clear up any confusion about this, that the leases for those endowment farms are set at 21 years. And what we as a board would have hoped to achieve was to have a review where you do it or not, but have built into it a review every 3 years of the rentals. And at the moment, we've got quite an eclectic mix. We've got some at 21 years. We've got one property, I think, every 10 and a half years has a review. As a result of our meeting last year, we've got now a property has a review every 5 years. And then we've got others have a review on 3 years. And I really struggle to understand how we as a collective here can come up with such a mixture of reviews on those properties. I would have thought we would have all aimed for a set review every 3 years, whether that's a rent review every 3 years, whether you actually evaluate, take a value on the farm every 3 years as a material, you may skip that. But at the moment, it must be very difficult for staff. I see Nicole's online. Must be very difficult for staff to work out when these properties come up. I mean, 10 and a half years for a rent review. Unbelievable.
So through the chair, the purpose of this report is about the activity on the Tuckpra account. It's not about the farms or the leases or the rent reviews. And we have had briefings and decisions recently about the leases. And so there are no pending decisions at this point in time. The next time it will come up is when the next leases are due for renewal, and that is it could be late 26, but it will, if not, it will be definitely 2027.
Thank you, area manager, for that. My point was the difference between a lease and a rent review, which was being raised. Councillor Rodley, Councillor Sinclair, are you? Yep. Councillor Rodley.
Yeah, just about table 1 at the top of page 23. I just sort of have a little, and it's probably really just a formatting thing, but typically under income, you wouldn't have the opening balance. I suspect you would normally have the opening balance, then you have your income and expenditure and the closing balance. The fact that those are kind of included in those tables like that, because the balance is not income.
So through the chair, I did check the formatting of this with our finance team before I submitted it, and they were happy with the layout.
I've looked at a few reports over the years, and I don't know if I've quite seen it presented that way, but if it went before then.
Thank you, Councillor Rodley. Councillor Sinclair.
So the purpose of this report is effectively to satisfy clause 8 of the Tuckpra policy, which is to report back on the balance sheet. And through a series of whatevers, this is presented later than we had expected on the 1st of September, but we've got it. We are in compliance with the policy. And as far as I can see, this is an information report that we should be receiving. And I'm on that basis very happy to move that we receive it.
Thank you. That is correct. I ideally would have liked to have reported in November. However, we need to wait until all the accounts are finalised. And for this particular budget line, that wasn't confirmed until after the November meeting. Otherwise, I would have been able to report in November.
Board Member Rakwa.
Thanks, Chair. On table number 1, this value of 90+ thousand, say, adjustment for 2023, 2024. What item is that?
So that was an adjustment that our finance team made to the income into Tuckpra before the 30th of June. And that was in regard to the Jack McLean Centre.
Okay. All right. So someone care to move 2.2? Oh, you done? Oh, thank you. Do we have a seconder, please? seconded by Deputy Chair. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, declared carried. And I just feel I'm duty bound to say that this report that we get, this is our only opportunity to discuss it. And I think unless we put it back on the agenda for next board meeting, next board going forward, I think we need to discuss the policies around this Tokra account. I think it's outdated and it needs a review. Okay. There are policies, the 9 policies, where we still got $500,000 in holding and $500,000. There'll be one councillor out there, probably online, be very keen to read about this Tokra account. Okay. Oh, action schedule. Oh, there it is there. Thank you. All right. Has anybody got any comments on the action schedule, please? You see in that there's 2 in progress and the rest are being 1, 2, 3 in progress. The rest are completed.
If I
Councillor
may
Rebel.
ask a question, so the second to bottom one, the community board about funds being set aside for Kopu. Economic development staff are investigating options for activation and how this may be funded, and it's completed. So have we had a report back from economic development about that?
No, the next step is that Lisa Church and I will meet, and then I'll be able to pass on what is in the pipeline. So I haven't had that meeting yet, so I guess that should still be in progress rather than completed.
Exactly.
And I'll aim to do that in the next 2 weeks.
And is there any update to the second item about the customer services incoming calls around graffiti and whether Mr. Sanford is happy?
Mr. Sanford's happy. So we've been in contact with him. Our call centre does note down as a call record the code. So when the call comes in, they do have a code for graffiti. And so Mr. Sanford is happy to remove graffiti when he becomes aware of it. Yeah, so we have been in contact with him.
So now that new process is underway, would it be possible for us to get a report after, say 3 months of activity just to see what's happening just around the graffiti thing, especially since we had Mr. Sanford?
The challenge with it is that if we provide Mr. Sanford's phone number to the members of the public and we get involved with that, then the public think that we are involved with removing the graffiti. So we don't want to put out the perception that council is going to remove the graffiti. So that's the challenge at the moment. Mr. Sanford's happy to remove the graffiti.
I'd be interested to know.
We're grappling with how we approach it so that it doesn't create the perception that council will be removing the graffiti. Because on council property, we have contractors that do that.
Have you got a report?
And on private property, council contractors do not remove graffiti, or business property, council contractors don't remove graffiti. So
Just be clear on the question I'm asking. I'd be interested to know how many referrals are being made to Mr. Sanford. That's what I'd be interested to know.
So I'm just going to ask Becky, who is online, to provide some input here because she has been liaising directly with our manager in our call centre and also Mr. Sanford. So Becky, would you like to provide a current state of where we're at?
I'd be happy at the next meeting to get an indication of how many referrals have been
Yes, yes.
made to Mr. Sanford. I don't, yeah, so really happy.
So we might just come back on, get that back at another meeting rather than trying to shuffle around these things now. A little bit awkward for staff to come up with these things. No disrespect to Rebecca Lacey, but
Yeah.
no, sometimes these things probably need questions to be set and sent, and we can get the answers at the meeting. Councillor Sinclair?
Just in regards to the Boer War Memorial, I just wanted to congratulate the team who put out the comms on that. It was pretty good. Thank you, Kate. And the comments on Facebook seemed to be very civil and very supportive of the repair work that needed to be done after that vandalism. And I thought it was communicated very well. Thank you.
Parks and Open Space, Person for Thames did an excellent job of sending me notes and taking photographs both before and afterwards. So,
Thank you. Just on here, I hope the deputy chair, and I'm sure he has, because he reads these things word by word about where the stencils are. For the Copa roundabout. Third item down.
Yeah, I had been in touch with area manager, and I did receive an email that they are actually being held, and whether I'm still have to find out whether we can use them and whether they're appropriate, you know. But I think the intention is if they're sitting in storage, we can use them. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be great. Okay. So that's it. So could somebody please move that the Thames Community Board receives the action schedule report dated 16th of January 2025. Board member Rakwa, do we have a seconder, please? Board Deputy Chair Johnson. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, declared carried. So,
Not in here because we had a late. So 2.4 Chair.
oh, right. So 2.4, God, we have to accept that one.
Yeah, because you didn't submit it.
No.
So
Oh, we were.
it was sent to members separately.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Thank you. Right. What is the time? 11:10? Is it 11:10?
11:08.
11:08. That's pretty good. So 2.4 Chairperson's report. That the Thames Community Board received the Chairperson's report dated 3rd of February 2025. Do we have a mover? Moved by Councillor Rebel. Do we have a seconder, please? I'll second it. Don't embarrass anybody. The reason why it's late, I need to put the most up-to-date information in it. So all those in favour, please say aye. Those against, carried. Was there any matters arising from that board's chair? Oh, God. Okay. We're a bit early, running early here. So 2.5, report to exclude the public. Can I have a move and a second, please, that the Thames Community Board exclude the public from the following parts of the proceedings of this meeting, namely 4.1, public excluded minutes for confirmation, 4.2, tapu cap thing. So we'll do 4.1 first. That's the minutes. Oh, we're only going to pass the motion. Thank you very much.
Need a seconder. Adrian.
Seconder, please, before we got pulled up. Deputy Chair Johnson. Wow. Yeah, no. Just, I just got a note across that it's probably better if the